What's good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason, and we're back here with another one. And I'm joined by the god of the mod squad, Rhino Sith, and I'm joined by the homie Havoc. You can check out his channel, No Passes Given. Just search on the YouTube. I'm sure Rhino or him will drop the link for you guys. I wanted to hop right back into this because there's a lot of stuff that has started going on since we last left you earlier, and I'll keep dropping the link. I'll open it up for all of you guys to come in and join. I mean, at your own pace. If y'all want, if you don't want, go ahead. But I wanted to start something because Twitter's on fire right now, and you basically got the guys at 3 yards per carry. Well, it's mostly, I think, Chris Kaufman and Alf right now. I don't think Simon's involved, but they're going back and forth with a couple people out of ESPN right now, specifically Mina Kimes. Is that how I pronounce her last name, Rhino? Because I don't live out there, so I don't get ESPN guys. And then former Jets guard, now analyst, Jeff Schwartz. And the narrative, I guess, has changed, guys, and it's turned into, Tua's starting, but their offensive line is basically Pupua. So they're trying to paint this narrative that our offensive line is trash and that, problems await Tua when he steps in. And, basically where Alf and Chris are coming from is you clearly haven't watched the games, and I agree with them. Like Solomon Kinley's only had one bad game, and I already highlighted it yesterday in my little tiff-taff with Larry that it was because of Robert Hunt. You know what I mean? Do I agree that Robert Hunt, if he plays the way he played on Sunday, might be an issue for Tua's blind side? Sure. But our offensive line as a whole, because I agree with EM and Havoc, I agree with what they say. You judge an offensive line as a unit. You don't judge that. Well, you can judge them individually when someone's being very bad, but usually you judge an offensive line as a unit and then individually, not the other way around. Whereas offenses as a whole are usually judged individually by the quarterback and then as a whole after that, right? So I don't see it. And I mean, I dropped my film analysis in one of their threads and stuff like that. And I know 3 yards per carry out here looking for allies. Well, y'all got some allies over here because I do. Here's my thing, because, guys, you've heard me. All these people who tried to paint these narratives that I'm a stat watch or whatever, well, y'all know that ain't the case anymore after you watch my film analysis, et cetera, et cetera. And y'all have seen my style is when the analytics and the stats back up what my eyes tell me, I'll use them, okay? But I always go with what my eyes tell me first. And here's a problem. Guys, I don't hold PFF as the Bible, but I do hold certain parts of it and certain parts of their grading system to a certain standard. But anyone who's been following this channel has seen me consistently saying I want to see the criteria specifically for the offensive line on how they grade, because I haven't agreed with a bunch of their grades, and specifically with the offensive line. So anyways, Jeff Schwartz made the mistake of bringing in PFF stuff, and anyone who's watched the team will know PFF ain't right when it comes to our team right now. And basically what was brought to them, guys, and I mean, I can bring the images up right now if you want, but basically, long story short, analytics were shown to prove that we're 19th in allowing pressures, so we're top 20. Does that constitute really bad? No, really bad is the bottom 3 of the league, okay? We're top 20. We're 19. But guess what we are, guys? We're number 1 in allowed sacks, like Rhino said before on live. 2. That's what we've allowed, 2. Because the other sacks have been charged to Fitz, who's brought pressure on himself. And that's another thing. Guys, do you know what Jeff Schwartz's next argument was? Well, high pressure rate, low sack rate, you got to put that on Fitz. Oh, really? Because if you've watched the sacks that have been attributed to Fitz, you would see he's brought the pressure back. Look at my Solomon Kinley analysis. How badly was Solomon Kinley beating it was AJ Epinesa, I believe. He dominated AJ Epinesa, took AJ Epinesa out for a ride to the sideline and back again. But what happened? Fitz went to the left, to the right, to the left, and then back to the right. Like, you could count to 6-7 Mississippis, right? Like, that's why the sack ended up getting charged to Fitzpatrick. So I'm going to say this to the media, and I know a lot of you ain't watching, but if some of y'all are watching and you ain't local, so you don't watch the team, don't speak on our team if you ain't watching the games, and don't speak on our offensive line if you ain't watch the all 22. And y'all already know I am. That's the same thing as it was with the, you know what the motto is here, guys. What's the motto? It's all 22 or nothing. All right, like that is literally the motto of this channel. I'm gonna get that ish trademarked, copyrighted. That's my ish right there. Okay, so especially when it's college evaluations, when it's a quarterback, whether it's an offensive line, buddy, it's all about the film and specifically the all 22, man. So, PFF, if they're going to start to be used by the media in arguments, not only do I want to see their criteria, I want to hear their reasoning of how they're able to fully grade these players from a broadcast angle. When I was telling Rhino, and I've told this guys privately, when I was doing some stuff for PFF, because I was looking to potentially work for them, they were sending me college games from the broadcast angle. All right. Like there were games where the first 3 or 4 plays, I couldn't identify safeties and corners because all I was seeing was the offensive line, the defensive line, or I was getting any evaluator's most hated angle, from down on the turf, watching the quarterback walk up to the line and identifying things, and only seeing the backs of the offensive linemen in front of him, and then you don't give me a full high wide view until after the ball is snapped. So I don't know what the coverage is. I don't know how everyone's lined up, and I'm getting these things. And guys, I know for a fact, at least with college, they use and they clearly use broadcast here in the NFL.
Yep.
These grades are coming out after like 12 o'clock Monday, and the all 22 ain't coming out till 2, 3, 4, 5 p.m. So like, step your game up, PFF. If people are going to start using you out here on ESPN to now attack my team, I want to see some criteria. And to save your own asses, take some advice from Reason. Drop the grades after the all 22 comes out.
Delay it, yeah.
It's crazy. I think particularly the first thing that really piqued my interest was after the New England game, when Austin Jackson, I believe he gave up 0 sacks and 1 pressure. Yet he was the lowest rated offensive lineman amongst all offensive linemen. And I'm wondering, how does a left tackle give up no sacks and 1 pressure, yet is the lowest rated offensive lineman in the whole group?
Bro.
When other players clearly had more struggles than him.
Bro,
I couldn't understand it.
Don't you remember when we were going over the grades in the first couple weeks? Was it it was the Patriots or the Bills game? You guys would remember more than I would probably. But remember, it was that game where Justin Davis gave up like 4 pressures and like 2 hurries, and what was it? Austin Jackson gave up none. And somehow Jesse Davis was graded higher than Austin Jackson. Like, what world are we living in right now?
Let's keep it a buck. Solomon Kenley has been probably our highest performing offensive lineman, and he consistently gets killed in the PFF. Dude. So, at a certain point, it's not about the numbers. It's not about trusting people who say they have numbers. It's about trusting your eyes. Trust what you see. If you consistently see Solomon Kenley performing well, but the numbers don't add up, don't doubt your eyes, doubt the numbers. And at a certain point, I think the one thing that the national media, particularly people who do not watch this team, it's almost impossible for them to evaluate the O-line, because that's something you actually have to watch. You just can't lean on numbers, right? You can't lean on yards per carry. You can't lean on touchdowns. You got to actually watch it. And, for them to pull out these PFF, man, we know what's up with these PFF scores, particularly in regards to offensive line rating.
Bro, and Havoc, that's like if someone was a stat watcher, they would have came away from that New Orleans game. If they would have missed the game and just went back and looked at the stat line, they would have said, oh, Herbert must have balled that game. Where no, in the second half, they took everything away, and it took blown coverage for them to stay in that game. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why, what did I say? Right? I said I wanted to remember when after that game ended, I told everyone, I was going to go back and watch that second half because I wanted to see what they did to Herbert, and now I can give you all the answer of what they did to Herbert. Like that's what I'm sitting here saying. Like, who I'll give a lot of props to? And he's in the national media. Brian Baldinger.
Yeah.
Because you know what he'll do? He'll go down and he'll break down the all 22. And what's crazy is literally he was breaking down the all 22 last week of how good Solomon Kinley and Robert Hunt were.
Yeah, he was.
Baldinger's office is in NFL studio. So,
what are we doing here, man?
He was the one that I think was the first one who was breaking down Kinley.
Yo, and I'm not sexist, man. I love women. Women are the creator. Women, Mother Earth, man. There ain't nothing without women. But Mina Kimes, this is why, this is why stereotypes still exist against women in sports media. Because you're out here making claims against basically a rabid fan base, and you're not doing enough. You think just clicking on the pf.f.com is doing your research. If you're going to make those kind of statements when everyone's eyes are on the Miami Dolphins, media fan bases, Alabama fans included, you better have your I's dotted and your T's crossed, because guess what? Now you're going to be out here and you make yourself susceptible to getting dragged. And you are now, I'm not saying you generally, but this instance is why you have these sexist minds still existing. And I'm not one of them. I don't think anyone up here is one of them. But this is exactly why they still exist, because people are going to turn around and say, you don't know what you're talking about. You know nothing about sports. So you're not even doing your own movement any help by not having a research. And this is the hottest topic in sports today, specifically the NFL. And you're going to come out here with unresearched and unsubstantiated claims. And how do you think that's going to look? A dude would get dragged, and if he was a former player, would be said, hey, how did you play football? You don't dude, are you serious? How did you make it? You know what I mean? How do you think a woman in sports is going to get handled? You got to be smarter than that. Come on, man.
Twitter, from my experience, Twitter takes no mercy on anyone, and to a certain extent, you got to read the room. You got to know when the iron's hot, and right now the iron is blazing hot. You got people out here that will, they're much like the kettle, man. They're running hot right now, and any type of slander on a day that should be seen as a day of joy, right? It's like someone trying to belittle you on the day like your child is born. It's like, fam, this is a great day for me. Why are you doing this to me right now? And you don't even have the facts.
I don't know if you guys watched The Herd, but Jason Taylor's sister, man, she was just down. She was just getting on Dolphins fans for being excited for Tua playing. She was like, well, Dolphins fans need to calm down. I was like, what the hell? What? Why is everybody?
Hold on a sec. Don't come on here talking about my baby girl. I'll give Joy a pass for that. All right,
man. Joy took the joy out of everything. I was like, what?
I mean, I think in terms of Tua's gonna come in and solve all problems across the board. We definitely need to calm down on that.
No, it's more like the fact that she said how our record, she was bringing up our record, and I was like, did you see the teams we played and how close the games were? That's what people in the comment section.
Yeah, but here's my thing: whether you want to put pressure on Tua or not, it is there, because you're talking about a 3-3 team, a quarterback playing at a very high level. They had to understand that, and they have to feel confident. So if he falls under the pressure, it's a good thing. We'll find out early. I don't think it's going to happen, but they obviously trust this kid. And we have to take a lot of confidence in that and a lot of faith.
And Rhino, man, how I feel about ESPN and NFL Network. How they always downplay everything. Every successful thing we do. We blew out the 49ers. Nothing. I mean, no coverage, no nothing. But as soon as the 49ers Rams, they're back to form now.
I want I want to show everyone how it basically started. So basically, 3 yards per carry. Said both of you, Mina Kimes and Dan Orlovsky, have really have to stop saying the Dolphins have a bad offensive line and actually watch them play. The reason is Tua is starting because they are playing so well. So both of you are completely wrong, or Flores is a complete idiot. Pick one. So Mina said, "Do Dolphin fans believe their O-line has been good, legitimately confused by this?" And he said, yes, they do. They watched them play 6 games this year as compared to analysts that only know the Dolphins exist because they're 3-3 in the standings.
Exactly.
So,
They don't
and
watch.
then we'll go through the timeline here, guys, because then it actually started, because then Jeff Schwartz jumped in and it started really popping off. So as we go up here, people started kind of like ripping in on all these people. There's our boy Sardi giving it to letting them know what the deal is. I'm not going to repeat what he just said. So some guy says, Matthew, going at Mina by accusing her of not watching games is so ugly. Grow up, please. So 3 yards, LOL. I gotta love that, bro, because that's exactly what I'm hitting them with. So 3 yards per carry said, this is why you come to us or others locally and not the national types. The national types still think Dallas Thomas is here. So it gets worse, because then now here we go. Kyle Krabs comes in and he says, I don't think Miami's O-line is particularly good yet. The rookies are all promising, but 77 is a liability. No one sustains their blocks for an extended period other than 66, which is Solomon Kinley, which I told all y'all. That said, I also think Miami's passing attack can continue to mask limitations as they did with Fitzpatrick at quarterback. Worth noting that Fitzpatrick averaged a snap release, though, through 6 games of 2.4 seconds in 2019. And first year in Sarkisian's offense, Tagovailoa averaged 2.38 seconds over 252 pass attempts. Granted, a new offense and now in the NFL, but that's why last 6 weeks were presumably critical to this decision. So Dan Orlovsky said, weird brains collide, Mina. Yes, the Dolphins' O-line is better than last year, but a massive reason why is how Fitz gets the ball out. And then he did the time to throw 2.4, and then that's when 3 yards per carry. They went and they used that Kyle Krabs. They hit him with that Kyle Krabs tweet there. And this is what I was talking about. This is what he hit Jeff Schwartz with, guys. And I'll see if I can find the thread. But if you see right here, so this is on some pressure percentage, the offensive line. So like basically the allowed pressure percentage. And we are right here under San Francisco at about 4.85%, right? But here's the thing. Boom. We're right at the top of some sack percentage. So basically sack percentage allowed. This is basically these percentages, guys, are based on snap counts. So like,
look who's below us, Indy.
Yeah, so like basically this is telling you how
Mm-hmm.
they're coming to this number is like, if you have, and I'm just generalizing, if you have 250 snaps, how they're saying is like on 0.18% of those 250 snaps, there's been a sack. That's what they're trying to basically tell you right there. So he battled that. He dropped that on them. And I don't know if I'll be able to see the reply here, but maybe I'll go to Jeff Schwartz's account here. But it got dropped onto Jeff Schwartz. And then next thing you know, Jeff Schwartz started changing his narrative, guys. I'll show you right here what he did. So Jeff Schwartz got that hammer dropped on him with those. Again, guys, like I said, 19th in pressure allowed. You're top 20. That's not bad. What are these people talking about? Like get off the smelling salts that Adam Gase is clearly providing y'all. So this is where it started going here. So as you can see,
they're going in.
Oh yeah, they're going in 3 yards per carrying him. So I'll give you all guys here a little bit of the look. So what happened was, again, look at this. Jeff Schwartz responded and said they are not good.
Come on, man.
Mina Kimes says, okay, but what would you know what you're talking about? And then she did the whole, do you even watch the games? So, they were kind of trolling, right? And they were kind of egging us on. So, I mean, like, that's what I don't. they're being kind of.
I know what he's
here.
looking for.
So, anyway, so it gets dropped right here. I think this is where it comes. Right? This is where it comes. If you look at this thread, guys, they kind of go back and forth here. So normally when your offensive line is remotely good, there's some reputable stat that you can use. So see, they're trying to use stats. And here you go. But there's nothing with the Dolphins offensive line. PFF has their pass blocking at 26th and run blocking at 30th. Oh, well, PFF, guys, does the NFL put PFF stats up and live by that, or do they use their next-gen stats?
Next gen.
Thank you very much. Anyways, ESPN pass block win rate, notice how he's not using next-gen, is 30%. So there you go. And then here you go, says, hey, Jeff, as part of the 3-yard per carry trio, I realize our man, who is Elf, came in a little hot, and for that I apologize. But at the same time, if you got this respect for stats analytics, then surely Miami's offensive lines aren't doing too badly in sack percentage and pressure percentage. So he showed the images I just showed you. So what's his response, guys? If you have the 19th worst pressure rate, like not a top 20 pressure rate, the 19th worst, and you have low sack numbers, probably want to send Fitz a thank you note. And the talking point was either, is the Dolphins offensive line bad or is it good? The absolute best y'all could say is their 19th pressure rate. Again, he looks away from the sack pressure. He said, well, the absolute best we could actually say is number 1 overall in sacks given up per pass play as an offensive line, which is a pretty big one. But I can see you have zero interest in acting reasonable on this. Hey, I tried. So, like, you guys are out here trolling our boys. Like, this is absolute nonsense, man. You know what? And that's why you know what you want to do? I don't care if you're at ESPN. I don't care if you're at Fox. You're never too big to go watch a film analysis. Go watch my Solomon Kinley film analysis, okay? Robert Hunt has played 2 games and only had 1 bad game. Solomon Kinley has played 6 games and only had 1 bad game. Jesse Davis, I've been consistent saying he's the weakling. Ted Karras has had 2 bad games. Flowers hasn't really had bad games. He's just been rough to watch at times. So like, this is what I'm sitting here saying. If y'all are going to be lazy and try to drag our media brothers out here, our Dolphins media brothers, at least know what you're talking about, man. This is absolute nonsense that this is even being talked about. And like, see how they're trying to twist it to make them sound better? 19th worst, not top 20, but 19th worst. When if you have a top 20 offensive line, you can make things happen. But allowing a top 20 pressure rate, no bueno. Like, get out of here with that nonsense. And let me hit y'all with this. Not only did Kyle Krabs just show you that in a similar offense, Tua was average release time of 2.38 seconds, whereas this year Fitz average release time is 2.4. Tua's more athletic. Tua can climb the pocket better than Fitz can. Tua has a better and escape it. Tua has a better overall sense of pressure in the pocket. That's just part of his game. He's only ever been hurt extending plays, not feeling pressure in the pocket. He's not been hurt in the pocket. So, and hopefully that translates. But what I'm sitting here and saying is, that should also factor into this. Look at how quickly he went through 3 progressions to throw that first down to Grant.
And he moved the safety.
Yes, and he moved the safety, and he stood upright, not afraid of what was coming at him. And guess what? They gave him enough time to roll through 3 progressions and make the throw.
Yep.
Stop making sense, bro.
First down, our first down.
Unreal, bro.
It's scary.
Clearly, and I think when you're on the side of the facts, when you're on the side, I think, of lived experience, which is us actually watching every single game. I mean, I don't think we have a problem admitting what our team is when they're not good. Like, I don't think anyone was coming on streams last season talking about, man, it ain't as bad as it looks. Like, people were telling it like it was, and we're telling it like it is right now. Are we saying that we have the Indianapolis Colts line? No, we're not saying that. What we're saying is our line was a disaster last season, this line is not. And considering the fact that we have rookies on our line, you can make the logical leap that it's only going to get better. So when I'm looking at this, I think this is a reason why, number of people that get their information, the Dolphins, from the YouTube community, why they shut off ESPN, why they shut off the Fox Sports of the world.
The NFL networks.
when they're not reporting on the Dallas Cowboys, it doesn't seem like any other team can get any real coverage. You know what I'm saying? So
What's disrespectful, Havoc, that they really covered the Bills ahead of the Dolphins, man. The Bills got more love, and the Jets got more love than the freaking fans, man.
Well, you know what it is, Pyro. If you're gonna insult and make a negative on the Dolphins, it would be nice if it was true. There's no reason to make stuff up. There's plenty of ammo out there, and I don't know what the problem is.
I think the national media legitimately comes from the position of, until Tua plays, the Dolphins are nothing to pay attention to. And now that Tua is a starter, they're all trying to piece together their arguments about what's happening in Miami, but they haven't watched anything that's happening in Miami, so they don't know.
Exactly.
But come not this week, but the following week when we play the Rams, all we gotta do is do what we've been doing all season, and that'll be enough tape, because they won't be able to deny that tape when he's on the field. They'll watch that tape. And Ryan Fitzpatrick is behind center. They ain't trying to watch that tape. And when Tua's behind center, then they'll say, "Oh man, this offense, Dolphins O-line,
good.
It's much improved, isn't it, Stephen A? You're gonna hear that. You're gonna hear that."
Man, I don't want to hear none of that. Don't stay, like EM say, stay on that side of the fence. I don't want none of that.
And I got another thing to say. I'm seeing a lot of things happening right now that baffle me. When I see people, and I'm not naming any names, but when I see people use the word bust, use the word one-read quarterback, use the words busted hip, say that a practice squad quarterback should be the future of the Miami Dolphins, and then when he hits the field, you about to jump out your socks?
I told you so.
When the future comes on, all of a sudden you've gone red pill?
Hey, bro, I told that man
directly.
Bro, I told that man directly to his face for everyone to see. Keep that same energy when he starts popping off, and he ain't, bro. So it is what it is, man. It's just like the media out here, bro. So
hey, you know what? I think when I would much rather roll deep with the ones that know than roll wide with the ones that don't,
bro.
So,
yeah, exactly. I would rather get caught. I would rather be wrong once in a while with the people that know what they're talking about, as opposed to being wrong often with people who don't know what they're talking about, bro. So, what's going on, RD? How you doing?
Hey, bro. How are you, man?
What's going on?
From Canada, guys. Dolphin fan my whole life. Been for Dolphins for like 22 years now. From Toronto.
Condolences.
I came across Reason's account beginning of the draft.
Oh,
and this
true.
man was spot on so many, you know what I mean? Like picks that are being studs right now. Like he knows what he's talking. Like he does his homework, Like you can tell.
Imagine that, right?
Sorry?
Imagine someone doing their homework.
No, I know, dude. I'm telling you, the guys on TV, and you just hear them, and they all have the same talking points all the time. You know what I mean? It's like when they make mistakes, they don't give a shit. They just basically put that aside, and it's as if they never said anything of the kind. They'll throw people, like if they ever were to run a franchise, within 2 days, it will be burned down. And then the salt will be thrown on top of it. Like this, the way they speak about our O-line, like, is as if they don't. We don't allow any sacks, and you guys put up a lot of stats over there. But listen, the thing about Fitz, he has one issue, and he's always had it. He does not know how to not throw the ball into triple coverage. So if Fitz never had the interception problem that he has, which is costing us games, he would have still been on the damn field for the duration of the season, because we care about this season, right? It's not that we're putting Tua because he's the future. Yes, it is. But we're also putting Tua because, you know what? Look at his college career. The man don't throw picks ever.
Mhm.
Like, very few. He's precise.
9 career, I think.
And when you see Fitzmagic, just look at the game with the Jets. I was losing my mind. We couldn't convert a third down. Yes, everything was good. We're facing the Jets, but look at the underlying issues. This man could not he started throwing picks left, right, and center. There was a butt pick. There was like almost 4 picks he almost threw in the second half. And I don't know if you guys look at the TD account on Miami Dolphins. He has been losing his mind on Fitzmagic for like 6 weeks since day one. Look, the plan was to start Tua. I know I'm rambling on a little bit here, but the plan was to start Tua, right, after the bye week at the beginning of the season. That was their internal plan, and that's what a lot of smart teams do. You know what I mean? Because there was no a real off season for him, like with training camps and preseason games and all of that. So yeah, you're gonna give him a couple of months, right? But because the offensive line came, sorry to bother you, but because the offensive line came gelled, right? That was the biggest fear. How is the offensive line going to gel? And are the wide receivers going to like be injured? Because they're always injured. Like, doesn't matter. We've never had them this healthy for this long, ever. And like especially this group of guys.
Knock on wood.
So now it's time. We're rolling good. Let's see what Tua has. If you think about injuries, you're always going to get hurt. All right. I don't fear any team because I think we're special. Like, we're finally gelling. Our defense, no one even wants to talk about our defense. Bro, our defense right now is second best in the whole league, points-wise. Like, second best.
18.8 points per game.
And if it wasn't for Noah, like, I appreciate Noah. Like, he's young, he's learning, I get it. But if it wasn't for a couple of, like, just boneheaded moves, we would have been number one. Easily, and our record would have been better. So, like,
Byron Jones didn't get hurt.
Yeah, all of that stuff, but like, the sky's the limit now. I mean, we got the formula is there, the coach is there, the culture is there, the talent is there. You're putting the pieces together, and now you also have the element of surprise. A lot of people are counting you out. The division is up for the taking. You need that for consistency. And finally, Tua, man, like all the quarterbacks. And you see them. You see the reason. You see the tapes all the time. Tua makes you feel like Breeze and Russell combine and fuse together. Like, every time he actually throws the ball, escapes the pocket, you just know this kid matures every year exponentially. And that's what the guy was talking about. What's his name? The quarterback coach that taught him back in the day. I forgot the guy. The quarterback of the Ravens that won the Super Bowl.
Trent
Dilfer, yeah. Like, this guy has never, like, he was comparing this man, I don't know, he was exaggerating a little bit, but he was comparing him to the icons. This man is special. So I just want to give him every opportunity, right, to succeed, and they've done it right. And that's the thing that Ross did when he fired Case, which is a monstrosity on its own. Like, I can go about these for millenniums, and what he has done is criminal to the AFC, but it is what it is. He knew. Yeah, go ahead.
I can't really indict Fitzpatrick like that, bro. I think why he was pulled eventually was a couple reasons. Like, we were talking about it earlier. My prediction for Tua was coming off the bye week against the Jets. And that just got basically accelerated because of COVID and everything moved up. But I mean, even Cam Wolfe said today, right? He wasn't playing. I got someone's feedback right now. Well, I gotta mute you, whoever it is. Hold on. But yeah, I just had to mute you because of the feedback. So I can't agree with that just because I only see 2 games that he played bad, and it wasn't really. And it was different than playing bad. It was poor decision making. And you can't have poor decision making from a 15-plus year veteran. Like, the Patriots game, that was on our defense. I've said this to nauseum now. Like, we only had a minute 25 of possession in the third because we couldn't stop our offense couldn't get anything going because our defense couldn't stop the Patriots offense, right? That Bills game, especially in the fourth quarter, it was Fitzpatrick and Gesicki that even kept us in that game while our defense allowed Josh Allen to have his best passing game of his career. Now, the Seattle game, he was doing okay. What's happened here is this is what's happening. So that if you go back to the Patriots game, he had 3 interceptions. Okay, now Preston slipped on one route, so that shouldn't have been an interception. And the third one, Gesicki got interfered with. It should have been a DPI. So 2 of those interceptions actually shouldn't have happened. But the second one was all Fitz, and it was what I've been saying. He's getting lazy in identifying hanging underneath defenders, whether it's a linebacker, a corner, or a rover that they hang there. And Adrian Phillips was the rover, right? He was a strong safety, moved up to the box. They had him as a rover, but they basically his assignment was watch Fitz's eyes. And so he just hung underneath, made the interception, and that's lazy. You got to identify him. You got to either look him off and then make the throw, or you got to throw to another read. And then when you go to the Seattle game, the KJ Wright pick, same thing. Denied D, the hanging underneath defender, which was KJ Wright, interception, and he almost got caught another 3 times between KJ Wright and Bobby Wagner being lazy and not IDing the underneath hanging. This is why I always talk about Tua's ability to move guys off his spot with his eyes. That was one of my favorite traits. If you go back to my quarterback big board near the beginning of this channel, I had Tua Tagovailoa rated as the number 1 quarterback on my big board. Joe Burrow 2, Love 3, and then Herbert 4. And that was one of the main reasons why was the intangibles and, being his ability to use his eyes. Anyways, when you go into now what happened this game against the Jets, same thing. That's how they were picking him off, was he wasn't IDing the underneath hanging receiver. He was getting greedy and he was getting lazy, which is your worst combination you could ever have for a quarterback. So it was more decision making. And I think, the guy had a 95 passer rating. He had the 7th best QBR in the NFL. He had over 1,500 yards. I just basically, and I could take another interception in that Seattle game when he got his arm hit on that first interception. He got his arm hit because Jesse Davis allowed a pressure. So, I can sit here and I can take stuff off just as much as I can put stuff on Fitz. So Fitz wasn't, especially when you go to the San Francisco and the Jags game, he was playing, EM's not wrong, he was playing at a damn near Pro Bowl level in both of those games. And that is why Tua did not see the field when we were up by more points against San Francisco, right? As opposed we were up by less points, albeit shutting them out against the Jets. But I think we said the whole reason is they were sending a message to Fitz. Okay. Right. And if you watch what Chan Gailey said today, Chan Gailey was gushing, and I read the transcripts to Havoc and Rhino. Chan Gailey was gushing more over those throws than we were, because if you watch what he said, that bootleg was intended to be an easy little rollout play for him, but they ended up, Greg Williams made a perfect call, took away Gaskin over the middle, which could have been more yardage, and forced him to a big boy throw outside the numbers on the move, and he made it, so that impressed him. And then you go watch the second throw on the first down, the kid's out there identifying Mike linebacker, something Josh Rosen couldn't do in 2.5 years. And so it just compounded on top of, because here's the thing, if you go back to when he made the switch to Fitz last year from Rosen, what did he tell all of you? He told all of you, I want to give our team the best opportunity to win. And he was probably saying exactly what the hell I was saying, where you came out of that game winning 24-0, but if it was against any other team, especially in the fourth quarter, that game would have got interesting because of how our offense started to stall, and Greg Williams made the proper adjustments at halftime. Thank God Adam Gase is incompetent. The offense couldn't get anything going. And so right now they're looking at it at 3-3. Okay, we just came off one of the worst teams in the league. We couldn't convert a third down. We put the rookie in there, and he showed us a ton of positives, even with such a small sample size, that this is basically what it comes down to. If you look at the games of when Fitzpatrick's decision making has been questionable, i.e., Seattle, and now this past game, right? If you look at those games where his decision making was questionable, what was happening? What was the biggest difference? In the first half, he was taking everything underneath and everything that the defense was giving him. Then they come out in the second half and he starts trying to push it. Like, for example, you go to the Seattle game, we're in the red zone, 3rd and 3, instead of taking the first down and throwing to the sticks, he's trying to test the coverage 20 yards downfield to Isaiah Ford. Like, he's not taking what the defense is giving you. Get the first down, live for another day, live for another play. He wasn't doing that. And what do you historically get with rookie quarterbacks, even the ones that aren't very smart? They take what the defense gives them because they want to play mistake-free. Because why? They could get pulled. And also, let's be honest, don't think they don't realize the pressure that goes on. And if they have a bad game, everyone's going to be out there calling them a bust. And then now you get into the confidence and the mental aspect of it all. But rookie quarterbacks fit more of the game manager that is needed right now. That's what we need. We need someone who's going to, Breda and Gaskin are averaging over 3 yards a carry. Okay, so we need someone who's going to take us the short to the intermediate stuff. Just get us that, and we can move the ball. We can move the ball down the field. Just don't turn the ball over. And basically, a game manager. You talked about Trent Dilfer. That's how Trent Dilfer got the Ravens to a Super Bowl and won a Super Bowl. Same with Brad Johnson and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Same exact way. Manage the game. Don't turn the ball over. Throw first downs to the sticks. Don't look way beyond them when you have to. Just focus on converting, and that's what rookies do. So they're saying we got a more athletic guy. We got a guy who is a better passer of the football. I mean, Fitz admitted him that self 2 weeks ago. He said, 3 weeks ago, he said in a Zoom, Tua makes a million throws I can't make. Okay, so it wasn't a question of who's a better passer. It was a question of who's a better NFL player at this point. And right now, Fitz, with porous decision-making, is not – I could see why they're saying, hey, let's see if this kid's the better NFL player right now. Because decision-making as a quarterback, as everyone knows, that's number one. That's right at the top. And
especially Fitz.
The whole reason Fitz is a starter right now, and the whole reason Fitz was in the position he was in, was because of what he would see pre-snap, what he would see post-snap. He's seen everything disguised coverage-wise ever. He can shift the alignment on the offensive line, the protection, to what he's seeing the front coming at him. But when you're doing those things, but you're making poor decisions, that wipes out everything you're doing pre-snap. So that's why, man. It's because Tua right now, it probably gives them a more athletic, better passer of the football, game manager, and that's what they're saying. Like, go look at our keys every week. Establish the run. That's what they want to do. They're going to establish the run. They're going to kill you with short to intermediate stuff, and then they're going to keep you honest, pull you up, and once they pull you up, now they're going to challenge you over the top, because that's what Alabama did. The thing is, people just didn't realize in Alabama, because they were taking the short and intermediate stuff all the way 80 yards to the house. But go look at the LSU game where the defense was challenging them, right? What were they doing, especially in the second half? They were drawing you up with the run game and with the short and intermediate stuff, and then now they were challenging Derek Stingley over top, and they were beating him outside the numbers. That's what you're going to want to do with a rookie. Manage the game. We will take the chances when they present themselves, whereas Fitzpatrick is taking chances when they're not presenting themselves. And Flores is saying, we came out of this 3-3 heading into the bye, which the bye was clearly their target for Tua, like I predicted at the beginning of the season. They're saying, hey, we're in the thick of the playoff race. We can't afford poor decisions, because that could take us out of the playoff race real quick.
Yeah, and to add to your analysis there, Reason, when you look at that LSU game, and I think the last game that he played with LSU, right, I think that was the most complete game of in his entire career as far as the defense that he was facing, right, the magnitude of the game, okay, the maturity that he had to his game at that point. And you could tell the one thing he was missing in that whole game was tall receivers in the edges. because he could actually throw it, right? He could throw it around your vicinity, but they all were short receivers, short wideouts. So he was overthrowing them or underthrowing them. He could never do a back, you know what I mean, like back shoulder throws like he was doing to Najee Harris. But he has those type of wide receivers now. Like Devontae Parker is going to love this man. I don't know how they're going to pick up the left-handed throws. Hopefully it's been working well in the practice. But they're going to love this man because he can throw it up in the air. And they're the tallest wide receiver duo in the NFL outside of Tampa. And they can catch it. Those are like bailout throws for him. And I think he's in a good spot, man. I really believe like the mojo is going well now. And even if he fails, he's our guy. Like, I don't mean fail like he throws 3 picks. I'm saying even if they lose, is because not because it's tragic, but because something must have happened in that game defensive-wise, or maybe some unforeseen, fumbling or interceptions that were through somebody's hands and into the DB's hands. But I'm optimistic that he's going to do well. Like that's what they said. It's time,
Yeah, I think particularly with the Jets game, in my opinion, Adam Gase couldn't dial up anything to get a score, so I think Greg Williams was trying to dial something up to get a safety on that rollout that Tua had. Because if Adam Gase can't put points on the board, and the points that are being scored that the offense is giving up are attributed to Greg Williams is like, hey, I'm gonna put some points on the board and give me those points.
Greg Williams has bound his own people, and trust.
Yeah, it's a fact. It's a fact. But at a certain point, and to I guess to answer the question of, why now, one, it has to be the bye week, but secondly, and I've said this over and over again, that they have a development program for Tua that extends into the regular season, and when I hear reports from players saying this guy is putting up 1 to 2 wild plays daily, that leads me to believe.
Thank you for reminding me. I'll play it after you're done, Havoc. Thank you.
That leads me to believe he's been doing exactly what we think he can be doing this entire time. We just don't see it, so we don't believe it.
Yeah.
But I think to a certain extent, Brian Flores, he's not necessarily going to always tell you the truth when it comes to the press conferences, but all you got to do is read the actions. All you got to do is read the actions when the question of who's starting for the team comes up. He says Ryan Fitzpatrick's the starter and we're moving on. Like, it's not even a question, which would lead me to believe there was never really, as many people have purported, as many people have tried to push the narrative that there was a quarterback controversy. I don't think Tua at any point was competing with Ryan Fitzpatrick. He was competing with his own ability to comprehend the playbook to a way that would give this team the best possible chance to win when he began to start the game. That was his competition, was just the progression process. So, why is it happening now? If you had 2 weeks to prepare for an opponent in your first game as a rookie, wouldn't you choose that game? Doesn't that make the most sense? That if you're going to have your rookie quarterback starting the game, you will give him double the time in a year where all of his time, a good amount of his time for him to perform has been taken away from him. It only makes sense. So, why not ride out Fitz on a high note, which I think we are right now. We're riding out Fitz on a high note. It's time to get this thing going.
I've never seen a quarterback. Sorry to cut you guys. I've never seen a quarterback in my life cheer on his replacement the way
That's a
Fitz
fact.
did. That was legendary stuff. And the guy that was coming in, be it that it's a pandemic and it's 2020, it's even more memorable. But the way he was coming in, it's Tua. Like, everybody's cheering for Tua. I mean, I don't think there's a soul in the world that doesn't want to see this guy succeed. It's not like your random quarterback that's a tall white guy, can lash it out 60 yards. This is like a special guy,
I have a short list.
I want to show this video quickly, guys. We got 186 in the room, and I want y'all to listen to what Cameron Wolfe says here about when he talked to Dolphins players, and it's going to be after the 1 minute mark. Let me know if you guys can hear it when I press play.
Our top story today has been named the starter for the Dolphins. And that means that Ryan Fitzpatrick will be backing him up. Tua getting an opportunity to prepare with 2 weeks because there is a bye this week, and certainly getting ready to go. He has had a chance to get in a game, completed his first couple NFL passes last week. But for more, let's bring in ESPN Dolphins reporter Cameron Wolfe. And Cameron, you've been around this team all season, so it seems like the question everybody's asking is why now for the rookie quarterback?
Laura, the Dolphins simply wanted to see more of Tua. This wasn't about Ryan Fitzpatrick's play, which had actually been very good. It's more about Tua's development. I got a text from someone inside the Dolphins organization that said, expect the unexpected from Coach Flo. And I know Dan's not going to like this move because Fitz has been playing well and the Dolphins are in the playoff mix, but they do have a favorable November schedule. And for the team, there's an element of surprise here. I actually talked to one player who was surprised by the move today, but he did note that Tua has made at least 1 or 2 wow highlight plays in practice every week. And we can't forget that the Dolphins are on their bye week. So Tua gets 2 weeks to prepare for his first start. That played a big factor here. And Laura, we can't downplay the significance of it being 351 days on November 1st from Tua's devastating hip injury. That we can't forget.
So there you go, guys. Like directly, someone told him that in practice he's making 1 or 2 wow plays in practice. So, I mean, there's and again, what did Cameron Wolfe say? It's not about Fitz. He's been playing really well. They want to see more from Tua because I told you guys, if you go, let me just read something to you guys, okay? Because I read the starting of the response, and I remember Rhino and Havoc laughed at Chan Gailey's response here. But guys, if you saw the Chan Gailey, if you saw his Zoom today, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So basically, near the end of the Zoom, guys, he was asked, I know Tua Tagovailoa only played like 4 or 5 snaps, but were you able to garner anything from his performance that gives you anything positive or negative to help him grow from? Do you guys know what Chan Gailey's response was? Okay, his response was, and I quote, "Oh gosh, yes." You go out there and you look at it, and he got it under duress and made an accurate throw. Then he sat in the pocket on 3rd down and made a throw for a 1st down. Those are positive. Those are real positives. For a guy that hasn't played a snap, those are real positive. And another thing that he said, guys, that was kind of interesting, they was asked about Tua's first play on that bootleg, and he was asked, I couldn't help but notice that the first play that Tua Tagovailoa ran was a rollout to his left. It looked similar to the play where he got injured at Alabama. I want to know if that was purposeful just to show that he could do it or if it was just happenstance. And basically the response given by Chan Gailey was, and I quote, "Don't give me that much credit. He had just been throwing the ball really well on the move the whole time. I was trying to. They brought the corner off the edge, which was a total shock. I thought I would just give him an easy bootleg throw to complete coming off of his own goal line. It ended up being a lot harder than it was supposed to be."
No pressure, reason. No pressure.
There was bounties. He didn't know. He just didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't know they didn't know there was dollars on his head.
Oh my lord! But that's good. That's good. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think that just goes to show that the only competition he had was just his own development cycle, and kind of like how Reason says that you just use the stats to back up what you see. I think when they put him in the game, they just use those game time situations to back up what they're seeing in practice.
Yeah, I was surprised when they cut Rosen so fast. I was like, something must be really developing well with Tua. Like they probably want Tua to start if you're cutting Rosen.
Brother, you got to let people finish their thoughts, my friend. I don't think Havoc was done.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Keep going, Havoc.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that they're just much like how you said you use the stats to back up what you see. They're using the game to back up what they see, which leads me to believe that Tua's been doing exactly what he needs to do according to their development cycle with him. So and you could say it's just a short sample size, but It was enough. It was confirmation. They're probably saying to themselves what we're saying in practice. Is this real? And he got into the game, and it turns out it was real. And probably Greg Williams did the Dolphins a favor, trying to dial something up, because instead of just having like an easy little bootleg where people said, anyone could have done that. Of course, Tua can do a bootleg. They threw a wrinkle at him, and I would say he made the correct assessment on that on that play. So one thing, they're not necessarily looking for the play as much as they are looking for his play. They're looking for the decision making on the handoff and on the two passing plays. Sound decision making, one in the face of pressure, and I think that sealed the deal in terms of him starting.
Mm-hmm. And if you look at what Barry Jackson said today, guys, he said, I'm just going to go over here what Barry and Armando said. They said some interesting things. He said, without cameras on and recorders running, two players have conveyed positive things about how Tua has looked in practice. And that goes back to what Cameron Wolfe was saying. What's encouraging about this move is that Tua must be performing well there in eyes of coaches to make this move after 2 wins in a row and Fitz at a 95 rating. And then even deeper, if you go to what Armando said today, if you go to what Armando said today, Jerome Baker found out about the quarterback change to Tua on Instagram. 2 other players told Armando they found out when a notification came on their phone. Not exactly how Brian Flores might have wanted his players to find out, but it's 2020. And I mean, if people haven't realized this yet, Flores is a guy who holds everything close to his chest, and Fitz was probably the first one that found out, and then that was immediately leaked. But infinite trauma. It's your first ever time up here, and you're one of the original mods, bro, and you've just been sitting here patiently, bro. I want to get your thoughts, bro.
Not a lot of thoughts. I just wanted to come on and say hi and just introduce myself. I got a lot of assignments to do right now.
That was good, Trauma. How you doing, man?
Thanks for allowing me to come on and talk. I enjoy listening to you guys constantly. Even when I'm doing assignments, it's pretty much an easy way to concentrate. But to be honest with you, I'm ready for Tua. I am ready for this, for this narrative to stop that the Dolphins aren't, good enough, or, we've been tanking most of the time. It's always that thing, we're trash. We're not good enough. Even with the Adam Gase era, we did go 10-6, but that was with Jai and a better offensive line. Hopefully, we get better over the with Tua, the offensive line, you everything. I think Brian Flores will do things that that we haven't had a good head coach over the past decade, even more than that. But that's pretty much where my thoughts are right now.
Do we make the playoffs, Infinite? Do we make the playoffs?
Do we guys make the playoffs? So my theory was 9-7, 8-8. Not sure if that's good enough for the playoffs.
9 should be.
That's the thing. I hope so. Hopefully, because I don't feel like Cleveland's a good enough team. Yeah, they're 4-2, but I just don't see a
who have they beat, right? That's basically
exactly.
Their schedule is easy.
Yes,
yeah.
Exactly.
You can always rely on Cleveland to Cleveland at some point.
They Cleveland last week.
They got a running game though. They got a real
when Chubb comes back.
Yeah, Nick Chubb is injured right now,
bro. Yeah,
like Kareem Hunt. So
shit.
Yeah, but even Kareem, he's always battles injuries and because it looked like they were going to go with Dernis Johnson for a while there, and then Kareem came back.
Yeah, that running back by committee probably, put some life back into Kareem Hunt's career. One, because he was the primary back with Kansas City, and with Nick Chubb, you got Nick Chubb. You're going to split carries. That's probably the best thing for both of them. But now that Chubb's out, man, he's going to have to hold it down.
Imagine if Hunt was still there in Kansas City.
I'd rather not.
Lair and oh my goodness.
See, what's crazy, Havoc? I agree. Obviously, it's a little bit of a running back committee, But it's the last team in the league that should be a running committee because I'm a firm believer that Nick Chubb is top 3 running back in the NFL. Like,
Absolutely.
Nick Chubb can take 250 to 300 carries a year. Like, you don't need Kareem Hunt. Like, if you actually break, like, look at it. They struggled the first week, but then what happened? Nick Chubb started lighting it up for 2 weeks in a row, and then he got hurt, right? But, like, you don't need, like, I get what they're doing, like, the whole thing, well, especially now because Chubb got hurt, but, like, Nick Chubb is a guy who, like, man, he's the last guy that needs to be in a committee, man.
He's the only dude breaking more tackles than him is Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
But Chubb has this demeanor about him. Have you seen him? Like, every time the camera gets close to him, like, he's basically, like, he wants to win so badly. He's a pro.
Chubb? Who, Chubb?
Yeah. Like,
and it looks like he wants to hurt people, bro. It looks like he wants to drop his shoulder and hurt people,
he's an assassin. Like, he's just, that's
Mm-hmm.
somebody that you would, I mean, they got him, what, in the second round in 2017?
Yeah.
When did they get him? Second round, right?
Yeah, he was Gurley's backup, I believe. Yeah, out in Georgia.
Yeah, he was Chubb. Yeah, he was.
Right.
Yeah.
Close.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. This is a crazy time, man. Because I never thought, and it's been quite a while since we've actually seen we've seen good quarterback play. And I'm not going to hate on every single, quarterback we've had before now, even though quite a number of them deserve it. But we've seen good play. But when's the last time we've consistently seen stellar play? And this is our first opportunity to do it. And I think what's great is the administration does not have a reactionary mindset that I think a lot of the fan base has. They're not out here saying, well, we have to see what Tua is. We got to throw him out in the first game. They're not on that type of time. It looks like everyone is of the understanding that this is a long-term project. No one's gonna lose their job if we just go about our business in a methodical way. We actually have a long-term plan and we execute the long-term plan, which is obvious what you would want to do if you want to be successful. So for me, man, this is just another step in it, man. And to take out, Fitzpatrick on a high note, which I think, a good amount of our fan base thought Fitzpatrick was only going to go out on a low note. That only makes things even better, man. That, he wasn't forced out by his play, but more that the progression.
His rookie on his heels.
The Tua Tagovailoa's progression has gotten to a point where they feel, hey, we can win with him now. And
bro,
him,
Havoc, I think you're onto something here, bro. Just to extend off what you're saying, just add more context, bro, because Flores is the last coach in the NFL that would make this move if he wasn't ready, both health-wise and play-wise.
100%.
And Havoc, I don't think people are really taking into context. We're 3-3 in the middle of a playoff hunt, and they're making this change. We're not coming off 3 straight losses, and we're 1-4 or 1-5 here, bro. We are 500. We are right on the heels of the Buffalo Bills, who are currently looking like they're human, and we are on the heels of potentially at least tying with them and making that division game in December in Buffalo, which could be very bad weather-wise. One of the most important game of the season, and potentially like a playoff game with playoff implications. And they went with a rookie who's 2 NFL passes and a total of 5 NFL snaps, bro.
Yeah, man. And I think it was written in training camp when Fitz says, I know what my place is. I know what my role is. Yeah. I know I'm the bridge. And I think for one, it'll be one thing if we're 1-5 and then Tua comes and everyone's like, oh, of course, you have to see what you got. But now we're in a position that we're 3-3. This is actually a move that was made, not to satisfy the fan base, not to satisfy the naysayers, but is a move that was actually made because they believe that he gives them the best chance to win. It's not a desperation move. It's not a let's see what we got move. It's a winning move.
Yep.
That's what that is.
And you know what's dangerous about this type of move, Havoc? 2 things. One, like we just highlighted, you're winning. You're coming off a 2-game winning streak. But what's the other one? that whole locker room would run through a brick wall for Fitzpatrick. So what does that tell you? A, you think that winning can continue with Tua, and B, Tua must have built a good enough rapport and relationship, which we've seen from his Instagram dancing with all the guys. And you even see him on the sidelines like he's the only one sitting with Jordan Howard. God bless him. So, you see all these things. You see him making friends here, right? You hear everybody glow about him in the Zoom. So that tells you they're not only confident in his ability on field, but his ability in that huddle and in that locker room to galvanize the players around him, and that they think the players will be just as comfortable with the coaching staff by making the move, because if they weren't, you wouldn't make the move because you could lose a locker room, especially if you start losing.
This is not a situation where the players are taking the coaches to decide and say, hey, man, why this guy's still playing? You know, when particularly if you look at where we were last season, once again, we were playing guys from Lowe's, from Wingstop, from the bus stop, you name it. We were playing all types of guys. And, for us to be in a place where we actually think, and the number is 95, that is Fitzpatrick's QBR rating. This coaching staff thinks Tua can do better than that. And they very much have a show me first and I'll believe you later philosophy. You show me in practice, and I will allow you to show me on the field when the game counts. So for me, they firmly believe this guy has the ability to play better than Ryan Fitzpatrick, and that's why he's a starter. And it's as simple as that. Now, was this true week 1? They didn't believe that week 1. They didn't believe that week 3. They didn't believe that when it came to the massacre at Santa Clara with the 49ers. But right now they do believe it, and they pulled the trigger. So you got to give a shout out to Fitzpatrick for holding it down, for not forcing their hand, for not putting them in a position where the team is 1-5, 0-6, and they got to throw him in to salvage the season and get something good out of it. He held the fort down. He more than held the fort down. I didn't think we'd be 3-3.
Shout out to the beard.
I didn't think we'd be 3-3. So I'd say he more than fit the bill. And you have in the rookie quarterback coming in, the guy whose job he took is his biggest cheerleader.
Yep.
And
what else did you ask for?
Guys, first of all, we got about 187 in the room. If you like what you're hearing from Havoc, you can go follow his YouTube channel. No Passes Given. The link will be in the comments right now. I'm sure Rhino will provide it. Guys, and I also want to plug, while I got all y'all here, if you like this talk, I have an audio podcast with Richmond Webb, legendary left tackle from the Miami Dolphins. He's on the Hall of Fame ballot this year, as well as fam of the show, Mr. Ballgame. And guys, you can go check that podcast out. I think it's one of the better audio podcasts out there right now.
Great listen, man. It's a great listen, man. Y'all are doing it.
So you just go, if you're on Spotify, iTunes, whatever your major podcast outlet is, just go search Dolphins Brawl. And the top episode is episode 3, still in the wild card running. And the show itself is called The Finish Line. We also got the QB Race is our other episode where we talked about in episode 2, and the Starting Line is your first episode. Go check it out, guys. Richmond Webb gives great insight, especially with the offensive line, because he was a rookie at one time who lived it. He gives great insight with Tua and what he's going through. So go check it out, because we drop a new episode every Thursday morning, guys. So
can't wait.
New episode 4 will be coming out this Thursday, and you're going to want to hear Richmond Webb's thoughts on all of this craziness. Trust me. So go check it out. The Finish Line, presented by Dolphins Brawl and Brawl Network. And also say this, I got one of the best intros in the audio podcast game. Go peep that out too. That's worth your listen just just by itself. So check that out. And again, you're going to see the description. You're going to see the link in the comments. Go check out Havoc and No Passes Given, guys. So, I mean, let's keep going off of this. I mean, the move has
Jackson. Sorry, Reason.
Go ahead.
You think Austin Jackson will be will be good to go. Like Flores every time he was asked about Jackson, he's like, yeah, we put him on the IR. You have to keep him there for at least 3 weeks. He stressed that out, that you have to keep him for at least 3 weeks. But I mean, they never really specified what the foot injury is or how severe it is. I'm just hoping he's back because Jesse Davis, man, I would feel much safer with Jackson there than Davis in the left side.
Yeah, I mean.
Davis should be a swing tackle, bro. 100%. Like, this is why I want Penei Sewell. Like, this last game, you saw why Robert Hunt is more of a guard, not really a tackle, because even Solomon Kinley, coincidentally, Robert Hunt has that bad game, and Solomon Kinley has his first bad game of the season. I was talking about this earlier. Like, he's having problem with combo blocks, et cetera, et cetera. Like, it was just bad news and Solomon Kinley was having to pick up some of the slack. So, if you go back, because I know you mentioned the other we call it the other platform because I came from that platform, RD. Like, I was one of the main dudes on that other platform that you were talking about earlier, the other Dolphins content creator. He who shall not be named on this channel. When you go back, bro, and I gave an analysis as soon as we made that draft pick. Yeah, I had him evaluated as a guard. I said he could be a Pro Bowl guard off the bat. And this past weekend, now it wasn't a matter of talent because he had a good game against Arik Armstead, who's no slouch in San Francisco. But now coaching schematically, stunts, manufacturing pressure by throwing a third guy. So you gotta get out, disengage your combo blocks and make the right reads and make smart plays. All of a sudden, they put Hunt in that position. And Kinley suffered because of it. And this is why draft Penei Sewell. I don't care how high it is, bro. If it's number 1, I don't care what people want for Trevor Lawrence. As long as the Jets are not number 2, I don't care what you want for Trevor Lawrence, okay? I want Penei Sewell because he's not only the best tackle I've seen on tape since Orlando Pace. This guy's arguably the best player I've seen in the last 10, 12 years, man. So I can kick that kind of talent to my right tackle, and that can protect the blind side for the first 10 years of our boy Tua's career. 110. Yo, I'm going to keep preaching it until I'm blue in the face. All right? Y'all would hate me because my choice is if we make the playoffs, and the Texans give us a top 5 pick. That top 5 pick is Penei Sewell. That in the 20s pick, because all the receivers I like will probably be gone. Travis Etienne will probably be gone. Kyle Pitts and Pat Freiermuth, the tight ends I like, will probably go on. I'm going Creed Humphrey all day. I'm making the move for Creed Humphrey, and I'm replacing Ted Karras because he's only on a 1-year deal anyways. And I'm coming out with not only the most transcendent tackle since Orlando Pace, but I'm coming out with the 2 best offensive linemen and my center position. And if I miss out on him, I'll invest that early 2nd-round pick on Trey Hill out of Georgia. I keep watching this kid. I like him. I like Landon Dickerson out of Alabama too, but I really like Trey Hill out of Georgia. But Creed Humphrey, if I'm sitting at 22 and I'm getting the inching, someone at 18 might make the move.
Yeah,
I might use some of my extra draft capital to move up and secure that because we missed out on Cesar Ruiz last year.
That's right.
I'm not repeating that again with now Creed Humphrey. So
I agree. I think
I can't believe they didn't go with Patrick and with Queen, and then they went with Iguanagami. Like, they could have easily. They didn't have to trade back, but then again, they traded back. They got the 4th pick, the 4th rounder.
With that pick.
Did we use that 4th rounder for Kinley, or did we use our own 4th rounder for Kinley?
We traded up.
No. Yeah. Oh yeah, we traded up, and we had to use that.
You know why we traded up, right? Now you know why we traded up.
Oh, bro, I love that kid. Yeah. I love that kid pre-draft process. He just didn't have a good name. That guy had, and now y'all seeing it. Now y'all seeing it. Andrew Thomas. What was I telling y'all on the other platform that? Man, he might be better suited as a guard. Now they're talking about him being a guard, and I can probably make the legitimate argument with NFL film. Okay, I could take my Solomon Kinley film and put it up against Andrew Thomas, and I can make now the legitimate argument that was it Solomon Kinley that was holding down that left side and caused Andrew Thomas to be picked in the top 5?
I heard whispers about that.
Was that Solomon Kinley? Because I can probably make a legitimate argument with you right now.
The Dolphins thought so.
I've heard whispers about that, and I think particularly, you know, in regards to the draft, you know, there are good prospects, there are elite prospects, and then there's generational talent, and they exist in a category all on their own. You're lucky if there's one player like that in an NFL draft, because there are some drafts where you don't even get one of those types of players.
Yeah, man.
So I think when you see one coming, and particularly want to talk about the idea of a dynasty. Yeah. You know, we all know about the Patriots dynasty, but before that was the Dallas Cowboys dynasty. And people want to talk about Troy Aikman, they want to talk about Emmitt Smith, they want to talk about Michael Irvin, but the real energy behind that dynasty was that O-line. And Jay Novacek as an extension of that when there was their fullback. That is what powered that dynasty, because if you take a microscope to Troy Aikman's statistics,
it's not that great, bro.
It ain't that great.
He wasn't actually that great. And what's crazy is what happened with Emmitt Smith when he left that offensive line, bro. The guy was an average Joe and had to play how many extra years
he was out there in Arizona
to try and break. And how bad was he? Yo, I'll tell you this much. Barry Sanders did what he did against behind an awful offensive line, okay? So imagine what he could have done. And just to go off here, so I am kind of like, guys, you know I'm a fan of Noah Igbinoghene. I wasn't an overall huge fan of the pick initially, but I am a fan, and I get why they made the pick, especially when we went through the injury. And, you know, he's only played the position for 2.5 years, converted wide receiver. You know, he showed up and stuff that I told y'all, I warned y'all that I saw in the Gators game against Van Jefferson. You've seen pop up this year, but I will say this. I like Noah Igbinoghene. I like the prospect, but I'm going to stick to my stance that Antoine Winfield Jr. was the pick at 30, not Noah Igbinoghene. And watching Antoine Winfield ball out, and here's another thing. Oh, shout out to the homie Matt Valdivinos. I got that signed Antonio Gibson for you coming sometime, homie. It's just sitting there, and I'm lazy. And shout out to K all day. I got all those Jalen Hurts cards for, God forbid, Jalen Hurts. Who wants that? For you and your girl. That's coming to you. But shout out to the homie Matt Valdivinos, because y'all know how much I loved my homie Tristan Wirfs. Y'all know when EM even tried to bring up that Khalil Mack, I deaded that right away, right? Mm-hmm. You know what Matt Valdivinos called Tristan Wirfs today? And this is a guy who was offered scholarships playing on the offensive line. He called Tristan Wirfs the best right tackle in football right now. And we're 6 games into his rookie season.
Don't tell that to Mac, though.
Now, I like you, Austin Jackson. I think you've played like a number 18 overall pick, 110%. But, man, if you could have dangled that Noah pick, even that 30, just to move up and get ahead, and because I know the whole issue was San Fran didn't want to move far back where they lost out on Kinlaw, so you had to make it kind of sweeten the pot. Tristan Wirfs, boys, we wouldn't be we'd be talking about Jesse Davis from the left side with incoming traffic. We wouldn't be talking about, and Robert Hunt would have been your right guard, and Kinley would be depth, and we'd be talking about, Reason, you are right. We got to get Eric Flowers out of here because we need that 10.5 for somewhere else on the offensive line. But man, I'm telling y'all, shout out to RD for showing me that love when he came on here, but I wasn't wrong when it came to that tackle position. I might have been a little off with Austin Jackson, but Tristan Wirfs, guys, he's been absolutely phenomenal, and I'm telling you, don't make the same mistake with Penei Sewell. If you're at 4, if you're at 5, use some of your capital. Move up and get them.
Yep.
Because Lance, Lawrence, and Fields are going to be your top 3 unless the Cincinnati Bengals get ahead of the Cincinnati Bengals. Do it. It's fine, especially if it's not a quarterback-needy team ahead of the Bengals.
Yeah.
Go. Make the move, bro. Because I'm telling you, this is not, y'all thought Jake Long was good for 3 years. Oof. Penei Sewell will put Jake Long to shame. Penei Sewell will be, you know how I tell y'all guys, Solomon McKinley, he'll be a Pro Bowler in 2-3 years. Austin Jackson, I said his potential, if they reached it, was a Pro Bowler in 2-3 years. Bro, Penei Sewell is an all-pro player in 2 or 3 years. Not a Pro Bowler, an all-pro first team.
I could definitely see the Bengals going for him because
That's who you got to beat out, bro.
Look who the Bengals had, arguably the best offensive lineman ever, in Anthony Munoz. He was the foundation of them going to 2 Super Bowls.
And you know what they'll do, bro? You know what they'll do? Jonah Williams is their left tackle, and he's struggling, right?
Yeah.
And they invested high capital. You know what they'll do with him? They'll kick him to the right side,
exactly.
the right side, because now Burrow can just see it, and you got Penei there, and then boom, they're set to go.
So we need the Texans to. We gotta be rooting for Cincinnati, man, to start winning some damn games.
Except against us.
Oh yeah, they're not winning against us. And we also want Deshaun Watson to throw for 400 yards a game, but lose. Keep starting them, man.
You know,
no, we don't want that.
You know, it's a situation. I think particularly when you talk about these teams that won with quarterbacks that were game managers. You know, particularly, I think about the Baltimore Ravens that had that crazy defense with Trent Dilfer and Jamal Lewis. There was a gentleman on the left side of that offensive line that went by the name of Jonathan Ogden.
Yes, sir.
And I think if you were to ask Jamal Lewis or you were to ask Brian Billick, the coach, who really was the energy behind that, their offense being able to do what they did and giving him a 2,000-yard season, they will all point at Jonathan Ogden. All I'm saying is, when you invest in your O-line and you consistently allocate resources towards that, you have the ability to get not a good prospect, not an elite prospect, but a generational talent. That's what dynasties are built on. The trenches, that O-line. Because a good O-line will make an average quarterback look good. A good O-line will make an average running back look good.
Yep.
Just imagine if you got Tua and you got a promising player like Myles Gaskin behind the O-line, that is a problem. And particularly in a situation we're in where we have so many rookie contracts right now, if you have the opportunity to double down on the trenches, so, once you have that locked down, all you got to worry about, and I've said it before, you got to worry about is you got to get the boy his toys. That's when you start getting into skill position players. If you can do that, man, you've set yourself up for a half a decade of success on the offensive end.
Y'all want to do a 2-round mock draft?
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
Here's the thing, Reason. Who do you think is the best running back coming out of this draft? Like, ready to play year one, plug him in anywhere.
It's okay. So, my objective opinion is Travis Etienne. My subjective opinion is Kenneth Gainwell.
Gainwell, really?
Out of Memphis, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen him. Yeah.
Najee Harris, all in, baby.
Najee Harris, every time I see Najee Harris in Alabama, right? This guy's making plays that you could easily make every Sunday, right? And he's making plays on a consistent basis. He never fumbles, and I mean never. He's only fumbled one time in his whole career, and it was the weirdest fumble ever. They thought the play was dead. And it happened a few weeks back versus Ole Miss. The man never, ever fumbles. He will hop over people. You can put him on the backfield. He'll catch. He'll run for 20 yards. He'll break tackles.
Yeah, he's my running back. He's my running back 3. Mm-hmm. I like Najee Harris, but I'll tell you this: he ain't Josh Jacobs.
Right? No, he's not.
If you want to talk about Alabama running backs, so
right.
Najee you can get in the second. You don't have to invest a first to get Najee.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's probably only one running back.
Same with Kenneth Gainwell. Same with Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah,
but
you're not gonna have to invest first.
Yeah, but
I think what you can get them. We got 2 picks in the second. It all depends on how the Texans pick falls and how the draft starts falling.
Calm down, Pyro. Right? Calm down.
And here's what I was gonna keep saying when you asked me about my opinion. Najee Harris is actually he kind of fit. Well, here's the thing. Najee Harris is what they were looking or expecting Jordan Howard to be. Thing is, Matt Breida's about to leave. So if they want to replace Breida, then you're looking more at an Etienne or a Gainwell. If they want to replace Jordan Howard and just go like the Howard replacement and Gaskin, then Najee Harris makes sense because he gives you the thunder to your lightning, right? Like that's what you're getting the thunder. And he does have a little bit of lightning because he's no slouch with his legs at all.
Yeah.
I don't mind a running back, but I'm not looking running back till second. Like I would take let me put it this way. I would take Rashad Bateman, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, Rondell Moore, or even probably Jamar Chase before I take a running back not named Etienne.
They probably
right?
all gone before I pick Reason.
They'll all be gone though. That's in the end of the final round, like the end of the first round.
Rondell Moore could stick around because him not playing this year and his size might hurt him.
Who?
Rondell Moore from Purdue.
Yeah, wait to watch him. So.
If Rondell Moore, if he was 6'1", no one would be talking about Jamar Chase or Jalen Waddle. It's the fact that he's like 5'8", 5'9", I think.
Are you into Chase?
5'9".
All these wide receivers that do a one-hit wonder, like with Waddle, and now I love Waddle.
I do. I am taking Rashad Bateman as my wide receiver 1. Jalen's probably my wide receiver 2. Devontae's probably my wide receiver 3, and then Rondell Moore would be my wide receiver 4 strictly because of his size. If he didn't have the size, he'd probably be my 1, and then I would have Jamar Chase.
Yeah, he's scary to me. Like I don't think he.
And I think he might get hurt for not playing this year.
Yeah.
Because you know why? You know, as an evaluator, why I'd want to see him? Look at how bad LSU is playing.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? I would want to see if Jamar Chase makes a difference.
It's
And you know what? He played the odds. He said Joe Brady's gone. The best coach in collegiate football at manufacturing space for receivers. And now Joe Burrow, my quarterback who was doing online correspondence while Tua, Herbert, and everyone was sitting in class because he was doing online courses, he was able to sit in the film room with his coaching staff and prep all week. He's gone. So Jamar knew the shit show was coming. So he said, yeah, I'm out. COVID too, but I'm out. I know what's coming. This is just going to hurt my draft stock.
True.
That's what he said. And you know why? Because he would have been exposed, bro.
Yeah, that's a good point, Reason.
And you know what? Rashad Bateman, they should not even be in this. This guy's catching balls from Tanner Morgan. And I look at Rashad Bateman, and all of y'all know I love Tyler Johnson. And you'll see Tyler Johnson's now balling out since he came back 2 touchdowns, 2 weeks in a row with Tom Brady. Because I said him or James Proche are perfect for a slot, or Devin Duvernay. And you see this man balling out now. But from watching Tyler Johnson, I fell in love with Rashad Bateman. And I don't care what anyone says, Odell Beckham 2.0 right now. And he's catching passes from Tanner Morgan.
Yeah.
He didn't catch passes from Joe Burrow. So put that more into perspective too. Like Rashad Bateman is that dude, man. Like they shouldn't even be in the same conversation.
Going up against
Jamar
good
Chase,
defenses too.
Is he playing? Is he gonna play?
Yeah, Rashad Bateman's opted back in, bro.
Okay,
and he's changed his number. He's going from he went from the number 13 to 0, and there's some significant meaning behind going to 0.
Who's Minnesota playing this weekend, Reason?
I haven't looked, bro. I haven't looked yet.
We're gonna do like a million draft. Like once the season is unwinding to the end, I hope we make the playoffs, and then we can still talk about the Dolphins like the season. But I'm telling you, this draft is gonna be like people are gonna be like it's a Trevor Lawrence draft. So you're gonna have
but it's deeper than it's deeper. Like I'm saying, like
That's
bro,
scary. It's deeper than last year's draft.
It's every position. I think quarterback. You know, I can make the argument because Jamie Newman opted out, and depending on where you have him as like your quarterback 5, 6, or 7, the quarterback 1 through 6 is deeper than and more pro ready than 1 through 6 was last year. Like the running back class is, it's just as deep as it was last year, maybe even a bit deeper. The wide receiver class, as crazy deep as it was last year, this class is deeper. What does this class have that last year didn't have? Legitimate first round tight ends, and depending on your evaluation of Brevin Jordan, you could have 3 legitimate first round tight ends, right? Didn't have that. The left tackle, where it's weak though, and this is why I wanted Wirfs, is that right tackle spot is weak this year. Like the best true right tackle is probably Abraham Lucas. Otherwise, you got to like convert a guy. So like, there's no Jedrick Wills, there's no Tristan Wirfs in the first round. Like, that's not this year. So that's kind of where the weaker is. The interior is pretty good. The linebacking core, especially in the middle linebacker, I think it's better because I wasn't a huge Kenneth Murray fan. I agree with JD. I like Patrick Queen if you're talking like first round linebackers. Other than that, meh. But like I like Nick Bolton. I like Dylan Moses. I like what's his face. Obviously, I like Micah Parsons. Depending on how you rate Joseph Osway, like I like him too. You can look him as a
about the North Carolina guy,
Chaz Surratt. I love Chaz Surratt, converted quarterback to middle linebacker. That guy has like a never-ending motor, plays with crazy energy. Like I've talked about him, but I think you get him in the second round. Like I like the linebacking class this year too. So I think it's a really, really deep draft. And like that's 2 deep drafts in a row. We've had basically war chests of draft picks, man.
Yeah.
I think I don't think it has safeties as much as last year, but it's got good corners. It's got depth in corners. I don't know if the high-end corners are as good. Well, Surtain could be. But no, it's going to be a good draft. I can't wait. Like, I just want the Dolphins to have, like, a very high pick and then to also, like, have success in the making the playoffs and then making some noise just so you go, like, really excited into that draft.
And, on Thursday, I'm not going to drop it tomorrow, but on Thursday – I'm going to be going live, and I'll be doing top 25 draft prospects eligible for the 2021 draft that Dolphin fans should be watching. And I'll go even deeper. I tried to make it for guys y'all could watch every Saturday. There was some talent, and I'm sure you guys can use your minds, that I had to put them on the list even though they opted out. And I'm going to tell y'all to dig up film, because you need to watch some of these players. So that'll be coming in 2 days, and that'll probably be a little bit over. I'll go live, and then I'll wait for everyone to get into the room first 10, 15, 20 minutes, and then it'll be about a half hour, 35-minute piece. And again, I'm putting this all together for y'all. There'll be highlights of the players, some beautiful landing pages and stuff, so y'all will like this stuff. Y'all will like what I'll be dropping there. So keep an eye, and it's something to pay attention to, because now, as we just mentioned, Damien, right? More leagues are starting to come back now.
Yeah, man.
And we got 2 first-round draft picks. So that's why, guys, it was only going to be top 10 with 5 honorable. Then it turned into top 10 with 10 honorable. Then I said, I just got to go top 25, man. Like screw it. You know what I mean? Like, so, and it's need fits, guys. So Trevor Lawrence isn't going to be on it. Trey Lance, it's not that. It's needs, guys. It's needs. Like, it's not. I'm not sending y'all on wild goose chases here. It's players that are realistic options in the first round, 25 of them for the Miami Dolphins.
And also, be on the lookout for, after that drops, be on the lookout for mock draft analysis that look very similar to the one that Reasonable dropped. That being said, I think the reason why, and I keep saying that the organizational commitment is so essential, is the front office and the coaching are aligned. And if Brian Flores was not a head coach, or decided to not get into coaching, he would be a top flight scout in the NFL right now. His background is in scouting. He is what is considered to be, a 2020 guy, part of the 2020 club with the New England Patriots. These are guys that started off as scouts with the New England Patriots that made less than $20,000 a year and worked 20 hours a day. Brian Flores is one of those guys. That's why when I say, he came from the mud, that's what I'm talking about, man. He earned it all the way through. And for us to have that as a head coach, a guy who legitimately, if he was not a coach, would be a top flight scout in the NFL, and you pair that with Chris Greer, and you also take into account the organizational commitment to, this is our scheme, this is how we're going to draft. We are uniquely suited, and I've called them gem finders over and over again. This is why we are uniquely suited with this level of organizational commitment to take advantage of the draft, but not just the draft, but, the UDFA class. I still think, even though, they're not necessarily, high level producers for the team right now, I see why you bring a Kirk Merritt in. I see why you bring a Benito Jones into the building. I see why you bring a Jonathan Hubbard into the building. So, in a season where not as much footage is going to be on, you need guys that have that natural instinct to find players that aren't on tape, to find players that you don't see on TV. Guys like your Matt Cole, who's on the practice squad right now. So, I have full faith that the Dolphins could take advantage of this, take advantage of the opportunity to be uniquely positioned to make the right moves. Because if I'm looking at the 2020 draft, you got to give that draft an A. Even if you disagree, maybe you want Winfield instead of Noah at that pick, I would agree with that assessment, but I would still give them an A based on his potential and the fact that you're asking the guy who's playing cornerback. He's in his third year playing quarterback, and he's going up against Stephon Diggs.
And Tyler Lockett.
Man, ain't no one gonna do good in that matchup.
He had a good game in Jacksonville. The guy can play. Just it's going to take coaching and it's going to take time, right?
Exactly.
But just bringing up Coach Flores, bro, do you know that Flacco owns the Miami Dolphins? Like historically, he owned the Dolphins, and he pulled a 180 like we've never seen before. They had 14 drives. Imagine this, to have 14 drives, they never score 1 point. 14 drives.
Yeah, that's what we said. He
never happen again.
If you include, I said that before we went live. For my live reaction, if you include the playoffs, he was 7-0 heading into that game against the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah,
so
it's insanity.
All right, let's get into this. Let's get into this mock draft, boys.
Let's do it.
One more note. Who are we facing next? The Rams. You don't think Flores knows the Rams in and out? Like how to beat them defensively? Like he just took care of them in the Super Bowl when they were stacked. And
they don't have the running game that they had back then.
They don't.
You got to account for. So
and he's got a good enough defense, just like he had in New England, like personnel wise. So
agreed.
All right, so let's rock this. Let's see what PFN. Shout out to the homies at PFN give us.
All right.
The Jets #1. Wow, they went Penei Sewell.
That's not going to happen.
Because
I don't know. They might
and there you go.
Donald.
And there you go. Our first little wrench has been thrown. This is the most unrealistic. I feel like I got to restart this because there's no way they're taking Penei Sewell. And then Washington traded up for Trevor Lawrence.
But
is that Marvin
say
Wilson
if they stick with Donald, because it ain't really been Donald's fault. When Donald's healthy,
but you know what's going to happen? Adam Gase is going to get fired, and so is Joe Douglas because he hasn't fired Adam Gase. Yeah. So a new regime's going to want to come in and restart it. I mean, we can rock it. Let me know in the comments, and y'all, do you guys want to start? I don't care. We can keep rolling with this, but like I'm saying, this is probably the most unrealistic.
Is that the third pick?
I'm sorry?
The third pick, is there Marvin? Are you kidding
Marvin
me?
Wilson, yeah.
No way.
Before Justin
Would they
Fields?
think he's Sue?
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't know about
that.
Oh, my God.
I don't think Justin Fields is going to make it to 5.
Dude, Justin Fields is going to be 1 and 2. It's quarterback hungry.
But let's do this again. It's going to be bro, Lance won't make it past 5 either, man. All right, let's try this again. I wish there was like oh man, it's not this simulator, it's another one. So I went to the wrong one. Anyways, we'll try it again. If they go Penei, there you go. We'll stick with it.
And the
Giants go Trevor Lawrence.
I can see that though.
I could definitely see. I mean, the overall analysis that Penei Sewell is the best prospect, so I see why.
The Texans screwed us on this sim. I see.
Yeah, man.
So I guess it's pretty much a consensus here who this would be.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and get him.
It's very interesting. I see him in one mock draft. Marvin Wilson is the 3rd pick, and in this one, Marvin Wilson's the 10th pick. Man, this thing's all over the place.
And there goes my boy Javon Holland right before we make our.
Are you high on Javon Holland?
Yeah, he's my favorite safety in the draft. Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna be picking way more further back than that.
So now we're at 12. So now the question comes: do you invest highly in a center? Do you get a weapon?
I can't go center here.
Do you get a weapon?
I'll get a weapon.
Who's the weapons available?
I think you trade down, man.
I agree.
I would agree with that. If we're at 12, if the Houston pick is 12, I'm talking.
I thought it was way down.
I trade within the first round, but I still trade down.
Yeah.
So y'all are actually gonna make me try and make a trade here right now, aren't you? Oh,
Do it.
You can run the simulation. Let's just see what they said. What they got to say.
All right. Let's see. So I'll target Las Vegas at 20.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Especially considering we've already done some trade business with them.
All right. So I'm gonna offer them the 12th for their 20th, their 52nd, and their 83rd. Let's see if they do it. Decline. Let's see if I can just get. Let's see if I can just get the second.
The first.
52nd.
You should be able to get the first and the second.
Yeah.
For 12.
And I'll get a 4th too.
Yeah.
Nope.
Damn.
All right, so let's do this.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm just gonna take, because we're only doing 2 rounds anyways.
Yeah, let's just do a straight. Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
There you go.
That's like a really
Super
bad
Bowl.
version of Madden.
Yeah, I know. And they took Trey Lance.
I can see that
And
because
Pat
Gruden
Freiermuth-
hates Carr.
Pat Freiermuth goes to the New England Patriots.
100%.
Creed's gone. Creed's gone.
And Creed Humphrey's gone.
Creed's
and
gone.
Waddle just went.
We got Devontae.
Devontae
We got
Smith.
Devontae.
That was a chance we were taking by doing that.
I told you get
I
him.
blame Pyro.
So what are we going weapon here? You want
I
wide
say
receiver?
Devontae.
Yeah.
Get Najee.
Devontae's the man that catches everything. His favorite target. He has Alabama history with him. Make Tua happy, man.
I just want everyone to pay attention to the name that is higher than Devontae Smith right now.
And I'm with that. I'm with Rondell Moore.
The brother has to play.
Now I love Rondell Moore. And I go to Purdue. So I doubly love him.
There you go.
All right.
Took Waddle? They took Tennessee? Damn.
Down to Tennessee took him.
Tannehill, now Waddle.
I agree because of the rapport Tua had. I've said this before. You know, Jalen Waddle or Devontae Smith being at the top of their board over Rashad Bateman or whatever makes sense because of the rapport he has. So I'll agree with that take.
But Devontae's
There it
good
goes.
too. Like he catches everything, man.
Yeah, but
Like, he's-
Rondell, especially if you're keeping big bodies on the outside, Rondell is the slot guy we're missing right now.
Yep.
I feel you.
Like Rondell Moore.
Wow, Chris Olive goes. So here we go. So now what do we come up on us?
Najee.
Yeah.
That's like a
Yeah, this has to be Najee.
Travis Etienne is still there.
Oh
my
Etienne,
God.
Etienne.
Etienne.
You know how I
I
feel
love this
about
draft
him,
so far.
Etienne.
Yeah, no, I'm taking Etienne right now.
Oh, God, if I'm going to NFL shop right now.
Hey, there
Wow. Wouldn't that be
Run
great?
game. We gotta fix the run game.
That's
Wow.
right,
I didn't
Pyro.
get
That's right, Pyro.
I blame Pyro. I still blame Pyro.
Oh man. You
All
got
right,
fourth
so now
I'm looking.
ooh,
looking at
Jackson
who's left.
Carmen.
Najee. Get him now.
Is Najee still there?
Come on, man. Just,
Yeah.
he's gonna
Get
take
Travis
running backs the rest of the draft.
I'm just curious though. Is Najee was still there?
No, Najee's not there.
Let's take him with the Jets.
Told you
The
guys.
Jets. Oh.
I told you to get them all, you guys. Fuck.
Ooh, my boy Tyler Shelvin sitting right there. That's your nose tackle right there.
That's
Yeah.
me.
I like Aiden Hutchinson and Rump. Quiddy Pay's pretty good too. So there's pretty good edge players, but they're like
Yeah, but we
No.
don't need no more edge for this. Like we have enough.
Chaz
We'll play.
Surratt is there, so you could make, there's my boy Joseph Asai. So you could make, I told everyone Micah Parsons is best suited outside in, not inside out, like how EM talks about with Kyle Van Noy being inside out, not outside in, because he's best suited as an off-ball blitzing linebacker because coverage is his weakness. So now you get Chaz, and all of a sudden you can plop him in the middle, and now Baker has no use.
Good.
There's some pretty good corners left, but we're pretty heavy. Adebo and Asante Samuel Jr. are legit. Ooh, okay. There are some legit safeties here. Andreas Washington is legit, but Paris Ford, Andre Cisco, and even Trevon Moehrig are legit options. And to be honest with you,
Cisco or Ford.
Cisco or Paris Ford. Cisco or Paris Ford would be my
That's a need for us, man. That's a need.
Yeah.
Najee Harris was a need.
And we got we got Etienne. This guy. Najee Harris is gone, bro.
He think we're the 72 Dolphins with a 3-headed monster.
I mean the Najee Harris
Mercury
club.
Morris and fucking Zonka. That's what Pyro think we are.
I'm leaning. I'm personal preference. I'm leaning Paris Ford.
Okay.
That's where my personal preference is, but I do love Andre Cisco.
I love but even over a nose tackle? I mean, I know.
Well,
I don't know.
Tyler Shelvin, I think that's a little rich.
Too rich.
Cisco will pair up well with Xavier because they're Hawks, man.
Yeah,
we want
man.
Hawks as well, right?
I would say it's nose tackle, linebacker,
bro.
then safety, right? That's
bro,
our needs.
Bro, Paris is a hawk, but he lays the lumber, bro.
Oh, we can have like how Brock Marion was, man, when we had that good defense in the late 90s, man.
Brock Marion and Jeremiah Bell.
I don't think much of players, though.
Yeah, even look at Adrian Gray. Ford is a baller, but Bobby has been balling. Yeah. Jazz 803, Ford. Yeah, bro, I love Andre Cisco, Jason Greaves, Ford for me. I'm going Paris Ford on this one, man. Let's Paris Ford is that, and I'll even read y'all his little. Oh, they haven't got his scouting report, but okay, cool.
It's not that good.
But wait for my. Well, I don't think they don't have Cisco's either, bro. So wait for Thursday. Thursday, I will have scouting report, little mini scouting reports on both these players, and Paris Ford is ranked higher on my top 25. So
all right, so let's go Paris Ford.
Paris Ford, and I think we have another pick.
Yeah, we should have another pick.
Bro, you get both. Brock Purdy to the Dolphins. Literally, Andre Cisco sitting there still too.
This is
okay,
so an embarrassment of riches.
We need a tackle, bro. We need a nose tackle so bad.
Well, my boy is Tyler Shelvin. I feel like he's the best, one of the better.
Don't you guys agree? That's like our biggest need going in before.
Oh, I agree 110%.
I agree, Ronald.
I've said 100%. Yeah, the middle of our defense, man.
Wow, there is some talent out there, but we don't need any. Kylan Hill's really good from Mississippi State too.
Check for a long snapper.
Are you crazy? This guy.
We're set for 20 years, bro.
I know that guy's good. Our special teams is legit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, we have legitimate Pro Bowlers on our special teams right now.
Sanders is our MVP, man.
Okay, here, let me ask y'all. I'm going to pose Chaz Surratt, and you shift Micah Parsons to an off ball, and Chaz is your middle linebacker, or do we go get that true 3-4 nose?
Get the nose. Get the nose.
Wow, man. I think a solid nose changes our defense.
Yeah.
You can never have too many linebackers.
In our defense, we need
that too, man.
Yeah, Adrian Gray, Shelvin of the UGA nose tackle. I have him. What's his face?
Which is a better value? Which is a better value?
Jordan
the
Davis.
Nose we can get in the third round. The nose we can get in the third round. Look at his rating, right? So it's also how they're being rated based on the.
Bro, this man's just pushing for subjective favorites over here. Yo, so Jazz says Tyler Shelvin 100%. Because the problem is, you actually can't go off their numbers. What you actually have to look for is every team's needs, because every team has needs built into this algorithm.
Yeah.
So they'll basically take highest need as well. That's why you got to watch out for it too. So yeah, let's do it, boys.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Tyler Shelvin.
We traded down with Vegas, right? But we could have maybe traded down with another team and gotten Waddle, and then traded back up to get, like, who knows what they're thinking, man? Like, it's one thing what we're thinking, but who knows what they're thinking in the brain trust. What do we got?
So there you go, guys. Micah Parsons, 6 overall. Devontae Smith when we traded back to get I take him at 20. Travis Etienne at 38. Paris Ford at 44. And then with one of the picks we attained, we got Tyler Shelvin as well and fixed the nose tackle problem. So we've got our off-ball blitzing linebacker that we can eventually move into the interior when Van Noy rides off into the sunset. We got Devontae Smith who can work the slot, the boundary, and he has that rapport with Tua. Then you got Travis Etienne, who my comp last year before he decided not to come out was a more athletic Alvin Kamara. That's where he is right now.
More athletic than Kamara? Are you serious?
Oh yeah,
he's sick.
That dude's sick. Paris Ford, who I think is one of the top, and Andre Cisco. They're actually literally, I think, what are they? They're 3 and 4 on my rankings. And then Tyler Shelvin, who I have as one of the top nose tackles, who he's been one of the few bright spots for LSU this year as well. So we've filled needs, we've solved problems. And Travis Etienne, now you don't need to re-sign Breda. Howard can walk. You could draft another running back later in the rounds because you got all the picks still. So you can still keep stacking, right? And let's be serious. Shelvin or Surratt at 52, I would have been 110% okay with. Thing is, the need outweighed Chaz Surratt. That's what that comes down to, I think, with at 52. So,
yeah, I mean, if this is what the actual Dolphins draft looks like, I'm booking my Super Bowl tickets right now.
Take a screenshot,
because that would be insane, bro. Yeah. Etienne's not even touching the second round, but
we don't know. Crazy
No.
things could happen.
I don't think Etienne is leaving the Jets, because if they're gonna go Lawrence, they're gonna go Etienne. Like, they want to have the same rapport. There's no way. They have no one there.
Yeah, and if Clyde Edwards-Helaire goes in the first round, trust me, Travis Etienne's going in the first round.
I'm still a Najee guy, man. Like, if Najee comes in, I'll be happy with him. And they can get him in the second round. But yeah, no, Devontae Smith. I think that's, out of all the wide receivers for Tua, I think that's the guy that you can do anything with him.
It was okay.
I would actually take Jalen Waddle before I take Devontae.
Yeah, no, but I think Waddle is gonna go top 10, man. I can assure you.
Yeah, you'd have to take him with I agree. You'd have to take him with the 6. Like, he's not falling to 19 where the Titans were picking.
Yeah, I agree.
And they had the Titans at 19. What the hell?
Yeah, I think they traded up. Did you see a bunch of teams were making trades, bro?
Oh, okay, yeah, that's realistic.
Different teams had different draft positions in both simulations.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, we're about to hit the 2-hour mark. I'm gonna go through you guys individually. Rhino, let's go through final thoughts, brother.
Yeah, just say much as today earlier on. Just get ready for the ride. It's going to be great. Fins up, and it's Tua time, baby. Real short.
Havoc, let her rip, buddy.
I mean, as always, it's fins up all day, every day, 365 days a year, all the days of the week as well. What we're starting to see is kind of what we've been asking for at the beginning of the season, before the season. Be patient. There is a long-term plan, and much like a farmer, you're starting to see the harvest right now. So, once again, enjoy the process. Don't let the anxiety of the process ruin the process, right? Just try and understand that there is a plan. And just because we're not seeing the practices, just because we're not seeing, what's happening behind the scenes, doesn't mean that nothing is happening behind the scenes. So, as always, man, it's shout out to Australia, Western Australia, Perth gang, Sydney gang, Sydney City gang, Melbourne. You all know the vibes.
New Zealand.
Hilarious.
You can take New Zealand, bro.
RD, let's get your final thoughts, bro.
Hey, Rob, thank you, first of all, for having me on your channel. Really appreciate it. And shout out all the way from Toronto once again, Dolphin fan for like over 20 years now. And for 20 years, man, it's just been 1 year after another disappointment, some more than others. But Gase really hit a new low with us. Half of the coaches were doing coke. And it really got bad, man. And you're seeing what's happening now with the Jets. So the fact that we got the coach right, the first thing we needed to get was get the right coach, just so you can get the right culture. And having the personnel that's going to come with time. We're seeing it now. The Tua, it's always going to be a lottery. I mean, I feel excited about the guy, but he has to put it all into the field, and when it all comes out, we're all going to see it at the same time, and it is what it is. We're gonna hope for the best, and I'm pretty optimistic that we're gonna have a successful year with that guy and a successful future. But again, fingers crossed. But I think we hit it with Coach Flores. I think just the way he ended the season last year. I mean, everybody thought that what we were doing was criminal. Everybody wanted out, and to keep it still, and to win and to beat New England. I mean, they beat New England when they had the best defense in the league, and they just took Fitzpatrick there and they just knocked them out. It shows that this guy will persevere and he will succeed. We just have to believe in the process as fans. I know the culture there is set up to succeed because you can see how tight-knit the guys are with their Zoom calls. They just believe in the team. I'm just excited. Like, I've never seen the Dolphins this prepped and this, built from top down, from the Ross to management. Like, I don't think there's a weak link.
Nice.
Their organization. So I'm excited, man.
All right, Infinite Trauma, you've been sitting there all quiet like a mouse, but bro, and I hope you're going to join us after. But give us your final thoughts, bro.
Yeah, thanks for having me again today, Reason. Yeah, I'm very quiet. Like, I've just been, like I said, I've been doing my assignments, listening to you guys.
Oh, hey,
so,
bro.
That's why I really
You're always welcome up here, bro. It's all even if you just want to listen, bro. You get that pass, bro. Don't worry.
No, I know. Yeah, but pretty much fins up, and same thing as Havoc said. Patience. We had this for over 2 decades of patience. Hopefully, our patience will still continue with us, and let's if it's for another 5 years of not making the playoffs, still have patience. But I don't see that happening. I think we're ready to hit the playoffs in less than a couple of years, and we'll see how it goes from there. I think we're ready.
Agreed, bro. Pyromancer, what's good?
Well, all I can say is can't wait for next year, man. The future's looking bright. Hopefully our draft doesn't end up like that one because I want Najee. You already know.
Najee.
That if our draft winds up like that, that's automatic F.
Etienne! What? Etienne!
I want Najee.
What?
He's been seeing those highlight films, man. He wants Najee.
No.
Sorry to interrupt, Pyro.
I don't want him. Give me Najee. Anyways, that's it. I'm not gonna do my closer. I'm pissed off. Go ahead.
Wow, you're not even gonna tell everyone what the
That's about Texans, man.
I hope they win.
Wow, all the Najee Harris, bro.
Sing your song, bro. You know what I mean? We all know you got the
Oh,
song.
no.
Don't
I ain't
disrespect
singing
me
nothing.
and my man. Dang, whole round of chops on your ass. Come on now.
I ain't singing nothing. When you draft Najee, you'll get your solo.
Bro, he was Najee was gone, bro, when we drafted
We
Etienne.
could have got him. You know what?
You ain't taking Najee Harris at 20, bro.
Yes, I would.
And over
He will. He will.
Seriously, over Etienne?
Bro, I'm telling you, don't. I'll tell you right now. In real life, Etienne and Najee would probably be reversed to what our mock just ended up. Najee will be there at 38. Etienne will be the one that goes in the first.
Yeah.
So don't let the mock get you down, Pyro.
Anyways, keep going.
Root against the Texans. Always root against the Texans.
Try hard. You're saying it.
All right. Damien, go ahead, bro.
Well, man, I'm like Bone Thugs and Harmony. I'm waiting for the first of the month, man. See, I gotta go out there and kill it. And I hope that draft goes like that too, man. No, I really do. Yeah, man. ATM, man. That's my guy, man. That's my guy. But just excited, man. Just excited, man. And just thankful, man, to be a part of this, man, with the great content that you put out, Reason, and the whole fans family, Rhino, Havoc, Pyro, all y'all.
Definitely. You too, brother.
Infinite Trauma, all y'all, man. It's really a family, man.
Mm-hmm. And our family just got bigger. We just hit a milestone. We started yesterday we started with about 1,457 subscribers. Right now, we just hit 1,503 subscribers while we were live right now, man. So,
Grats, dude. Grats.
I appreciate all of you. We started this back in March, and we're now sitting at 1,500 subscribers. So, much love to all of y'all. And if you're new here, smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't. If you want to donate to the channel, paypal.me/Finside. If you want to become a Patreon, patreon.com/Finside the NFL. And shout out to every single one of our Patreons, because a few of them are up here: Infinite Trauma, Rhino Sith, Fake Spike 94, Shake Money, Joe B, KA All Day, Ramon Casillas, Seth, Mr. 2-Bits, Slim Pickens, Big Time, and Red Dino. Shout out to all of y'all, and shout out to everyone who just even smashed the like button, man. Like, there's 140 in the room. Just smash the like button. Y'all don't have to donate. I mean, we appreciate when you do, and it goes back into the channel, as you see. But just smashing the like button is enough for us, man. Just, we do this for y'all. So I'll be back Thursday night. Stick to the community tab. Follow me on Twitter at Finside the NFL, or at my personal Twitter at _real_reason, which is my most active. I got over 1,150 followers on my Twitter, so join the cause. I'm pretty active. Yeah, I know. I'm pretty active there. So I'll keep you guys up to date, but it looks like I'll be back Thursday night. Expected Thursday, possible Friday, but 99% it'll be Thursday, and it'll be the top 25 2021 draft eligible college players Dolphin fans should be watching based on needs. So be out on the lookout for that. And guys, I'm going to plug it once more just because why not? If you like audio podcasts, check out my audio podcast with Richmond Webb and the homie Mr. Ballgame, because I'm telling y'all, we're building something special over there. So we're 3 episodes in, and all you got to do is go to your major podcast outlet, whether it's Podbean, iTunes, whatever, Spotify, search Dolphins Brawl by the Brawl Network. To search Dolphins Brawl, and we are the latest episode, still in the wild card running. That's our 3rd episode, and you can go down the list and you can see our other 2 episodes. Go listen to Richmond Webb's takes on the rookie offensive lineman, Tua the rookie, comparing it to how he was a rookie. Go hear Richmond Webb's thoughts on the Dolphins week by week, just in general. It's a fantastic podcast. I'm really proud of it, and I think all of y'all Dolphin fans will enjoy that, so go give it a look-see, man. But other than that, I'll see y'all Thursday. Fins up.